yeah, there are ways that you can psychologically benefit from all types of outcomes. Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh, we have an interesting question here. This is from a trader who says, my biggest trading challenge are my exits, getting out of my trades. And if I could, fix something about my trading, I'd want an easier exit strategy. So that's really interesting. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, he could mean, or this person could mean easy in that, let's say that you're doing like you said, a multiple part exit where you exit half the position and then the other half. So that's not so easy because maybe you have to watch the market. So, it could be a matter of just creating an EA that does your exits. Another thing that this person could be saying is they don't have maybe enough actual exit strategies to play with or to try out, which is probably less likely. But if that's the case, then just build up this library of exit strategies and try applying those to all of your back tests or whatever it is, right? And then try to figure out how to automate that as much as possible. Like I've been using Naked Markets quite a bit for back testing, and it's great because you can create these rules and you just drag them into the chart and they'll do that rule and they'll exit it for you. So something like that could really speed up the process. And maybe, they're talking about it's too slow or something. That could be another definition of not easy. So something like a rule manager on Naked Markets would help you out a lot because it does it automatically and you don't have to go through all the trouble of hiring a programmer, getting an EA and all that kind of stuff. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know if they mean like it's a time intensive thing. They got to sit there and watch the charts. That's why it's difficult, or, psychologically difficult. Like obviously the management thing, that can all be automated. I find that actually works better, that you're less likely to make mistakes if you put all your focus on, when do I get into a trade, and then kind of let the platform get you out, the EA get you out of the trade. That's quite useful. And then an easier exit strategy. It could be also potentially, depending on what they mean, it could be that like they have an exit that is like rarely achieved. Do you know what I mean? Like they have maybe aggressive targets or something.
Get like a 10
I
hour
don't
exit
know.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. So having some sort of trailing exit obviously is going to help you there, where like some people even do an R-based trailing exit where you go, okay, if it goes plus 2R, then I move my stop loss to break even. If it goes plus 3R, my stop loss is at 1R, or whatever. It goes to 5R, my stop loss is at 3R. If it goes to 10R, then I tighten it up to, to 9R, or, there's different rules that you can apply there, but that's that's an interesting one too. It could, like, if you're having a hard time hitting your exit, it's rare, then you have really aggressive targets. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Especially if you're using some sort of break-even rule or something like that. Like my friend Matthew in London, he actually has a 9% win rate. So he's got a 20-1 target, and he knows that it's only going to happen 9% of the time, and 91% of the time he's not going to have a winner. So but he lives with that. He automated it, and so that's the way you can do that. It's but yeah, there are definitely options to make it, quote, easier in terms of time intensive. You can spend less time if you automate it in your back testing or in your live trading. And then if it's something that's just too hard to achieve, you either have to decide, am I going to mentally prepare myself to deal with this, or am I going to set it up so that it gets me out a little bit earlier? So my favorite thing is to split it. So I have a fairly easy to achieve target on most trades, and then a hard target like 2R or whatever, 3R or 1R, whatever it is. And then I have a trailing exit in most cases of most of my trades. Now, if I'm in a tight range, that's different. I might just have targets, but generally speaking, if I'm hoping that the market's going to run, and I know this probably not, but occasionally it will, then the trailing exit is supposed to take advantage of that. So yeah, there are ways that you can psychologically benefit from all types of outcomes if it's profitable, right? Which is what I like to do, because that's not necessarily the most profitable way to trade. It's just psychologically easy to have your targets hit most of the time on the winners. You know, we're not talking about losers now. Who cares about those, right? But on the winners, your targets are hit, and then occasionally on your winners, you have this great massive run, and that you can high five yourself. I'm still high fiving myself from the 2020 March pandemic charts when I had these New Zealand yen trades on that went for like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pips. You know, I'm still high fiving myself for that, and that's like, you know, as I record this, it was like 3 years ago. So yeah, it's just So that's what I'm saying. You know, that's what I'm saying. You can make it easier on yourself psychologically. You can make it easier on yourself physically. The maintaining and executing. There are definitely solutions there. Yeah.
And I think we both want to give this person credit for asking this question, because that's not a question we get usually, right? It's about what's the system. But yeah, if you're at the point where you're focusing on the exits, then that's greatness. That's a big step forward.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Okay. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.